All right. Welcome to History 218, which is Native American history. And the time period we'll be covering is basically all of Native American history from prehistory to the 21st century. We'll see how well we can get through as much of that as we can, and we'll do our best. So let's go ahead and get started here. Some of this intro material you should have seen in the other modules I put up. All of this stuff should be on your syllabus. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to email me. Just a note about email. Don't feel bad emailing me. I get like 10 million emails a day. So if I miss one, don't feel bad if I don't reply to you within about a 48-hour window. Feel free to email me again. Just forward the same email again, and I'll try to get to it. I get so many per day that sometimes I do miss them. So don't feel bad emailing me again. It's not going to bother me. Also, feel free to ask me any questions, either through email or on the discussion board about questions that you want. I'm not going to judge you for any response that you put or any question you have. It's a safe space to ask questions and make comments. I'm not going to judge you negatively for expressing yourself. Otherwise, textbook is, or you already heard from me, I'm the instructor. The textbook is Indigenous Peoples History of the United States. And, oops. And I don't have my copy of Indigenous Peoples History on me at the moment, but I'll paste a picture of it on here for you. This should be pretty easily acquired. It's fairly inexpensive book. You should be able to get it for less than $20 on the internet, or I think the bookstore sells it for $20 something. So get the book as soon as you can. Class conduct. So this is an online class, and so I'm going to ask you to not troll anybody, not be respectful to your colleagues and to myself. And if you don't act with respect in an online class, it's going to be a problem pretty quick, and we don't want to have any of those kind of problems. So remember, this is an online class. This is not a YouTube message board. Keep your comments and your responses respectful. Participation, obviously, if you don't participate in the class, you can't do well in the class. If you participate and do the assignments, you'll do well. The more assignments you miss, the worse you're going to do. Success in the class is usually directly correlated to getting everything done that's part of the class assignments. Course evaluation, there'll be evaluations toward the end of the term, and course schedule. That I'll be updating these lectures and updating the calendar and the Blackboard as much as I can, or as quickly as I can. So the big difference with college versus high school is that you're responsible for your own grade, and I can't do the work for you. So you want to be able to do the work yourself and make sure you're on top of things. And I'll be putting out announcements periodically with lists of what's been due and what is due. And if you miss something, try to get it in as soon as possible. It's better to get a little late penalty than it is to get a 0 by far. So everyone wants to know how tough the class is, and I've made it about equal to any class you get in any university. That's what transferability is all about. And so I'm not going to dumb this down for you. I'm not going to treat you like, oh, you're a community college student and you can't handle this. You guys can handle the same work as students from any university. I fully believe that. History is not the hardest class, but not the easiest class either. History is easier in the sense that you don't need a lot of prerequisites at this level to catch up, at least not at the undergrad level where we're at. you can start pretty much at any point in history and learn about it. But it's hard in the sense that you got to put in the work, you got to put in the reading, and you got to make sure you're doing what you need to do. And history tends to be pretty reading intensive. You're going to do a lot of reading in here. You've got your book review, and you've got the textbook, and I'll be uploading some readings now and then from articles and other book chapters. So it's not the hardest class, but it's not the easiest either, in the sense that you've got some labor that you just have to do. So not a pushover subject. It's not something that's easy, but it's also not something that's ridiculously hard. Like, I don't know, chemistry or something. I always hated that class. But if you feel like you want to tear your hair out, or you feel like you want to cry, don't hesitate to contact me. Again, send me an email. And if I don't respond within 2 days, send me it again. I'm not going to get annoyed. So just reach out to me if you think you're having trouble, and we'll try to figure out what's going on. Big piece of advice is not to procrastinate on the book review. Do not put it off until the last minute. So I was the kind of student, and in the Army this was bad. Hurry up and wait. I got so many bad habits from that. But if you procrastinate, you can get all the work done if you work really intensely and stress yourself out really bad. So the longer you wait to get something done, the more you compress the time you have to do it. And yeah, you can read the whole book review book and then write the paper on it in about a 4-day period. But if you choose to do that, you need those entire 4 days. And if anything comes up in those 4 days, you're messed up. So give yourself time to do this assignment over enough time so that it's not all at once.